everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name's Katie Carson. I am the Duchess of Suds. I make soaps inspired by stuff. And today we are making a soap inspired by Taylor Swift's first album, her debut album, Taylor Swift. And I had to go look and see which songs were actually on this album. And then the thing that I remember about it, because I'm this old, is it being on MySpace and the album artwork. That is what I remember the most, was her curls, which were so iconic. Like, young people won't know because you weren't there for Taylor's curly girl era, but it lasted forever. Everyone and their literal mother were trying to figure out how to do their hair like Taylor Swift. Those perfect, like, curls, but not really curls, not really beach waves. They were impossible to achieve, and they were beautiful. And that's what I remembered. That's what I remembered most, is her album artwork, me thinking, that is the prettiest woman I've ever seen in my whole life. And that's a beautiful album. And so that's what this soap is inspired by, is literally the album artwork on the front cover, because that's what I love. And hint the little butterflies. I'll show you the album. There's the album cover, okay? You see the little hidden butterflies on there? Yeah, we're gonna do something with that. So let's make some soap. First thing we're going to do is pour our lye water solution into our oils, and then we can start mixing up all the pretty colors. Gonna blend this up. Okay, so let us add our colors. I'm going to use Sea Glass as the main color. This is sort of a light turquoise. Sea Glass is a very fitting name for the color. Then I'm going to add in some Blue Tide as my first accent. This is very similar to Sea Glass, but it's darker. Then I have this Chartreuse green. There's a lot of little hints of green on that album cover, and they're kind of limey. And then finally, I'm going to add in some Shocker Blue. This is a neon, but I'm gonna dilute it a little bit with a bit of titanium dioxide. Okay, let's go ahead and blend these up and see what we think. Okay, this color palette is perfection. I mean, come on, it looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna start by pouring this first color into our corner here, get all that extra, and then I am gonna wait a little while for this to set up, okay? It's too runny to pour. It'll all get mottled up, and because I have 3 different blues that I'm trying to incorporate, we do not want that. What is going on right now with me pouring things into this container is enough blending. We don't want any more blending than that. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's giving Lotus Blossom and Water Lily. It's giving Monet's Lily Pond. It's watery, and it smells exactly like the green shampoo bars that we have here at Royalty Soap. So if you like that smell, I'm using it in this soap. I don't know why I keep thinking of water when I think of that album, but with the teardrops on the guitar, there just seems to be water references everywhere. The color palette is very aqua. Like, it's giving all of that. And that's why I picked the colors and fragrances that I did. So this is looking a little better. You can see when I'm moving it, it's not like sloshing. It's more like jiggling back and forth. That's what we want to see. So we all love small business shopping, right? But have you ever wondered about all the steps involved in shipping your order? Let's pack one up and see how Stamps.com makes my life easier. All right, so I've got my box, and now I'm gonna add some cute tissue paper, place my soaps in, cover again with the tissue paper, and place their stickers on top. I weigh the package with the free scale Stamps.com provides, which is super handy. Then I use their rate advisor to find the cheapest shipping method for my customer, and all the shipping info is neatly organized in an easy to use dashboard. With my label printed and box taped up, the products are off to the shipping shed and then to their new home. I love watching people pack orders, and if you're the one doing the packing, check out Stamps.com. Right now there's a special offer at Stamps.com/royaltysoaps. You'll get a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com/royaltysoaps. Grab this deal and make your shipping a breeze. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some in, and then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna pour some into the other side. You have to do this to make sure that the soap ends up looking kind of similar across the board. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with one soap that may have a lot of one color but not have hardly any of the other colors. It's just a good idea all around. Just back and forth, swirling just like so. And again, you can see how thick it is. This is like the perfect thickness. You don't want anything thinner. You don't want anything thicker, or else it's not gonna make those swirls inside like you wanna see. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna scrapey out my little container, get all that extra, and put it into this one because this one has a little less than the other container. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just tap this down a little bit. I'm not gonna touch it. It is gonna have to sit up 10 to 15 minutes before I can pipe the top, but that's okay because that's about how long it's gonna take for my frosting to set up. Okay, so we have our soap frosting. It is a white frosting, and then I use that sea glass to just add a little bit of color down the sides. And then I'm using a new tip today. Well, it's not new, it's just unusual for me to use it. It's the 826. So this is a really frilly frosting tip. It doesn't have all those teeny tiny ridges. It's kind of like a big version of like a Wilton 1M tip that people use for cupcakes. Just was giving off the right vibe to me. I am trying to adjust how I pipe this to make sure that the most amount of color is visible from the outside, because it will be visible when you cut it, but the main point is to see the outside of the color. It's coming out really good right now, so instead of filling in that middle part, I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. I am so obsessed with how this soap is turning out. Honestly, it is just kind of nice because in the filming order, this is one of the last soaps that I'm making, and I have had so much trouble with my fragrance oils this month, and this soap has given me zero trouble at all. It has performed perfectly, and honestly, it doesn't matter how long you've been making soap. If your fragrance oils are giving you grief, that's like not your fault, and it's just discouraging. But it is also part of like the process. Whenever you're doing something creative, artistic, there's lots of different variables. That's just something that can happen, and you know, you should be aware of that. Okay, time for a really embarrassing story. So this is probably my oldest connection to Taylor Swift. When Teardrops on My Guitar came out, I cannot believe I'm about to say this out loud. It's so embarrassing. Like, have you seen those TikToks where it's like things we ate and survived, and it's just like kids being goofy? They're like 13 or 14, and they're like doing a music video in their bedroom with like sunglasses and a Newsboys cap on. Okay, well, the story I'm about to tell you has that energy, because I thought it would be funny to make a music video to the Teardrops on My Guitar, but make my love interest the equivalent of a Squishmallow. I had this pig that was a pillow, and it was filled with like squishy beans, and I was like, what if we make him the love interest and make my little sister and I fight over it? My little sister was Shelly, by the way, and she was like 9, which made it even more ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure we did the whole song. Like, Kenny filmed it, we edited it. I have probably a whole music video of me absolutely being the biggest embarrassment on a hard drive somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna turn these before I put the very top dollop on, because I need to make sure that they're straight. They're looking pretty straight, but you can never be too sure. So yeah, that was also, I should say, not an unusual thing for my brother and I to do. We made music videos, stop motion videos for years, all the time. We did it all the time. So it's not unusual that we made the video. It's just another reference to Taylor Swift. Oh my gosh, I hope that that is like gone. But again, either Kenny or I probably have it on a hard drive somewhere. I also remember thinking that the Love Story music video was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. I had Taylor Swift's hair in that video on my Pinterest board for what I wanted for my wedding day. So Me and probably like 100,000 other people. Okay, here is the glitter blend I'm using today. This is biodegradable, eco-friendly glitter. It is plastic free, and look how perfectly it matches the top of our soaps. We're also going to be adding some teardrops. Teardrops on top and some gold butterflies. I am going to add the glitter first though, because I would rather those other things just stand by themselves. They don't need any extra toppings. Anyway, even if you don't like Taylor Swift, which again, I'm not the #1 Swiftie. Like, I just feel like it was part of growing up in the late 2000s. Like, if you were in high school during the time when, you know, she had some albums that were, I think I was a senior in high school when the Speak Now album came out. And it's just, it's not like, oh, I was a big Swiftie or I wasn't. In fact, senior year probably would have been the biggest time I was actually into metal music, which is like the antithesis of Taylor Swift. But if you were alive in high school at that time, you knew at least 5 of her songs for nothing more than, like, I don't know, going to a dance, hanging out in a friend's car, whatever. Definitely used We Are Never Getting Back Together as like healing for a breakup. Definitely did that. I mean, what girl hasn't? But yeah, I had multiple boyfriends in high school and junior high. Caleb didn't. I was his only girlfriend. But I had multiple boyfriends, and Taylor Swift was excellent for listening to post-breakup. Somebody asked me in the comment section of a video one time if I did the breaking up or if I was broken up with, and the answer is both. There were certain people that I was like, okay, you're done. And then there were certain people that were just like, actually, I met a girl that was prettier than you. So those hurt a lot more. I mean, they didn't say that, but I knew. I was 14 years old with a bad haircut. Like, I knew. It's crazy being alive during high school and thinking that's like the epitome of existence, only to grow up and find out that that is such a small fraction of your life. It feels so huge. You feel like such a grown up, and then it lasts for 4 years. You're done, and then you like never see those people again. I wish someone had told me how irrelevant the whole high school experience was gonna be, but the media really hyped it up. Like, all of the movies from that era were about being 16, getting your first car, having a high school boyfriend, and going shopping at the mall. So it was like high school culture and consumerism. That is what the movies were about. And it was so hard to break out of that mindset. I mean, I know I didn't. Maybe there were people who did. And you know, I really loved the scene kids, loved the goth kids, wanted to go to all of the music festivals. And I didn't get to go to that many, but for the people that did kind of have that look about them, I was super drawn to them. I felt like they were really cracking the code over there. Okay, last one. Perfect. Okay, look at these butterflies. I knew. I was like, listen, if the soap gets nothing else, it's getting the gold butterfly, because that was the #1 thing I could remember about this album was the cutout of the little butterflies on the front of the cover. And these are really big embeds. I'm having to be very careful with how I place them. I will probably end up cutting these bars individually tomorrow, because getting the placement on this so that nobody gets their wings clipped is going to be difficult. Wow, I'm obsessed with this. I'm going to have to keep one of these and like not use it because it's so cute. This is really just taking my high school and wrapping it up with a big fat bow. Also, just so you know, because thinking about this album reminds me of prom and all the prom dresses that were so popular, and when Taylor had certain videos come out, like it kind of popularized certain dresses to wear to prom. Now, I didn't go to prom. I was asked, but I didn't go. At that time, I already had royalty soaps, and I'll never forget it. I spent the night of prom on the floor in my room handwriting soap labels, because the next day was a show that I had gotten into, like a craft fair. And I was just convinced, like, I really need to do this craft fair. You know, I don't care that much about prom. Sure, I would love to wear a dress, but like I saved up all my money and used all my money for royalty soaps at the time. So I was like, man, I believe at that point I had made like $200 and prom tickets were $120. It's the Texas homeschool prom. It's gigantic. There are people that go to public school that try to go to that prom because it's such a big fat production. And I just was like, I cannot afford those tickets. I have raw materials I have to buy. And I try not to regret that decision. I think it's just really indicative though of like where my mindset was at during that time. I was like, I've got to make this work. And you know, it was probably a really good decision for my mental headspace. It really made me commit to what I was doing. So we're gonna call that a good decision. And then I'm gonna spritz the top of this with rubbing alcohol and she's done. Oh my word. Y'all, please. It's so cute. I cannot wait to cut this up tomorrow. Can you imagine with all those blues inside? I hope we're doing Miss Swift proud over here because I'm really feeling it. So I'm going to let this sit for, I don't know, 18 to 24 hours. Then I'm going to, well, does it need a little more glitter? I'm looking at it and I'm like, I kind of feel like it might need some more on the sides, not on the top. But yeah, I'm going to let this sit. Okay, that's better. I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours or so. Then we'll come back. We'll split up these bars. We'll take pictures of them. Oh, this is going to be a fun photo shoot. I can already tell. I can't wait to do the backgrounds for these soaps. Okay, all right. I'm gonna put it away, let it sit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Can we just take a moment for this? Look at the complexity. I'm gonna use this butterfly mold so many times. I already have so many ideas for how to use that because I think it's so pretty. And here's a fun soap fact. As I have continued to share these on Instagram, it's like blowing y'all's mind which soaps sell better and which ones sell worse. And I will just say historically for royalty soaps, blue soaps sell better. They sell much better than a lot of other colors. Okay, let's pull one out. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side and I'm going to have Caleb put the album cover on the screen now so that you can see. I'm dying. This is so good. Oh, and it smells delightful. Like this is one of the stronger scents of the month, I would say. And just, it's so good. It's so sweet and a little bit effervescent. Among my favorites. This one is also going straight to the shower. And if you're new around here, you've never seen me make soap, maybe you're here because you love Taylor Swift. These bars, I have huge hands, okay? I have huge hands. This is how big the soap bar is. When these bars get to you, they should be around 6.3 to 6.5 ounces. So it's a hefty bar. Most soap bars are about 4 ounces or so. So this is a lot. In fact, what we tell people to do if they're like, this is a really big bar, how do I use it? You can cut the frosting off, use the frosting as a bar, and use this as a bar. Because as you can see, this is about the size of a normal bar of soap, even though it's on the bigger side. You could also cut right down the middle and just make it a little bit longer. It's up to you. And some people like to chop this up into 4 different bars. It will still be soft enough that you can cut it with a kitchen knife in your house. Be very careful, of course, when you're doing that, but it's still very cuttable. And they're massive. They're huge bars. Like they're a huge bang for your buck. I tried to get one of the bigger ones. This is why for my frosted top soaps that I sell, I use the brambleberry molds and not the purple molds. You've probably seen the purple molds around. Those are the ones that I teach people how to make soap in, but I use the brambleberry molds because the bar side to side is bigger. So you get more weight in your cold process bar. My bars are bigger than the ones that are made in the purple molds because of the base mold that I use. So I do that on purpose so that people can get giant bars of soap that last them a long time. Please. I'm dying. It's so cute. It smells so good. Like Emerald Agave, Now, if you want to get more things in my shop that smell like this bar, here they are. The Emerald Agave Shampoo Bar is among my absolute favorites. It smells so good. And I will make a conditioner bar for that fragrance. I promise. I haven't done it yet, but I will do it. You want to get this bar and other Taylor Swift inspired bars? Well, they will be available on this day at the website, royaltysoaps.com. So be there for that. And yeah, I will see you guys later for the very last Taylor Swift soap. It's going up on release day. And yeah, it's my favorite one of the whole collection, besides the birthday cake one, because, you know, my birthday. It's fun to be 29. See you in the last video. Okay, bye.